This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 191 of the Stable Scoop Radio Show. Moving on up. Please support our sponsors as they make this show possible.
Equestrian Collections, Kentucky Performance Products, and Equity Manufacturing are our sponsors for today's show. You can find out more about these wonderful companies at stablescoop.com.
Welcome to the Stable Scoop, with weekly shows delivered right to you. With Helena and Glenn the Geek, live from the stable, it's every week. They bring you the news through hail or high water, while using their tails as their own fly swatters. So sit on down and laugh till you poop, cause it's time again for the Stable Scoop. The Stable Scoop. The Stable Scoop. Stable Scoop.
I am Glenn the Geek, now from Ocala, Florida.
And I'm Helena B., still coming to you from cold and windy New England. And you're listening to the Stable Scoop Radio Show on your favorite network, the Horse Radio Network.
Well, thank you, Helena. It's so good to talk to you again.
I know it's not been very long since we've recorded together, but it feels like ages.
It does. Well, it's been weeks. We had the Horse Husbands episode in there. We had the Horse Wives episode. And then, we just haven't recorded together in a while, and we moved in the meantime, and it just so much has happened.
That's the best part, I think, about the whole thing. The Horse Radio Network's life right now is that you have a new headquarters, and you are in probably the horsiest place in all the world. You're in Ocala, Florida.
Yeah, it's beautiful here, and it's been wonderful weather since we moved here. We've been busy. We'll talk about that a little bit. We've just been busy doing our thing down here, getting ready, and I have some stories to tell you about that. And I know you've had a lot of things going on, so we decided today that we were going to do something you and I haven't done in a long time, and that's no guests, just us.
Just catching up, and hopefully all of our listeners will enjoy the ride. We've got some stories to tell and life experiences to share. But before we get to that, we're going to take a minute to highlight one of our wonderful sponsors.
Let's see what our friend Angela from Horse Girl TV has to say about Equity's Shaken Fork, the world's best motorized manure fork.
I'm the host of HorseGirlTV.com, Angela Walkup, and I've been using the Equity Shaken Fork for over 4 years now. It's not only cut my stall cleaning time in half, but likewise my manure pile with less wasted bedding. Less waste saves me money. So I highly recommend both the Shaken Fork and their Flexin Fork, as you can't find better manufacturing on the market today. And remember, you can always tune in, tack up with HorseGirlTV.com.
Thank you, Angela. You can find the amazing Shaken Fork at EquityMFG.com. That's EquityMFG.com. Well, we're back, and, I got to tell you, we've had, the move was interesting. We had a long drive down here. What should have been 12 hours took us 17 because we got all hung up in traffic in Georgia and construction and everything. So we were in the truck, and Jennifer had the truck and trailer, and we were just had the moving truck, and it was a long drive down. But we got here, and we've been very busy. We had 10 days to get 2 paddocks worth of fencing up, about 2 acres of fencing. And we did that ourselves. We worked with a really good fencing company by the name of Field Guardian.
Oh, yes, I've heard of them.
Well, they have a new fencing out that is one of the problems we had at the property we're at here, and I'll post pictures on our Facebook page at Stable Scoop, is that it's loaded with live oak trees, which, if you're familiar with Florida at all, live oaks are the huge, massive oak trees that maybe have 3 or 4 trunks coming out of them at the bottom.
Yeah.
And they've been around for hundreds of years, and they're the ones that you'll see all the Spanish moss hanging from. So it's absolutely beautiful piece of property. It's about 3.5 acres, but the live oaks shed branches all the time. And what we were afraid of, we needed to put up a temporary fencing because we're only leasing this at this point for a couple of years, hoping to buy it.
Right.
And we didn't want to put up, wood fencing and have to rip it out. That just doesn't make sense if we were paying for it. So we wanted a permanent temporary fence. And that's why we ended up with the tape from Field Guardian. So they provided us with all the stuff we needed. By the way, they're a terrific company to work with. We just sent them the drawings and the documents and the measurements, and they calculated everything we needed. It was so cool. The boxes just showed up a couple days later.
That sounds nice.
It was nice. I mean, they figured everything out. We didn't have to worry about counting number of insulators or any of that. And this particular tape we got is new for them. It's rated up to 900 pounds. So if we have the smaller branches and things fall on the fence, it's not going to break this tape. That's what we were concerned about, being under all the trees that were under here. Right. And I'll tell you what, we put up we used 140 posts that we put in, and you know what that's like at your house.
Oh gosh, yes. Yeah. I put in about that many. Yeah.
Let me tell you, it's easy down here because it's just sand. So you're
really?
When we did the T-posts, you're just they went so quickly. I got to tell you, even digging the holes by hand for the wooden posts we put in was 5 minutes. I mean, it just because it's just sand. And we have where we live, it's almost like beach sand. It's almost white, and it's just that fluffy consistency of beach sand. So like the wooden posts, we had to concrete in. But the
like
T-posts,
for your corner posts?
Yeah, corner posts, and gates. But for the T-posts, it was so easy. I gotta tell you.
Wow.
It was kind of nice. We weren't expecting that because we came from a place in Pennsylvania where we had nothing but shale. Anybody that's put in fencing into shale or rocky ground will appreciate that.
Oh, my God. We live in the rock capital of the
do you
world.
have that? Is that where you have?
Oh, Rhode Island is just rock central. So, yeah, you're like bang, 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 clank. And, and then it reverberates through your bones.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, wait a minute here. When you were putting the posts into this nice soft sand, did you use the fence post driver?
Yes, and God, is that a godsend. Years ago, when we were putting all of our T-posts into our 100-acre property, at that point, when the electric fencing, if you remember 25 years ago, you couldn't get tape. It was just that little skinny wire that they break every 10 minutes. But when we were putting it in up there, we hit that shale, and, oh, geez, it was awful. It was bad.
Well, I have to say that even though you and I haven't recorded together, I have been in contact with your wife several times, many times. And she started to tell me a little bit something about you and the fence post driver having a little misunderstanding. What was that?
Well, the problem with this sand is, and people who aren't familiar with the fence post driver, it's a tube that has handles on it, a heavy tube that has handles on it that goes over top of the metal T-post, and you use that instead of hitting it with a sledgehammer, you use this driver, you pick it up and down. Well, the post would go in so easy, I'd be pounding like, I was expecting it to be.
Yeah.
And it would pop up over the top and hit me in the head. So
wait a minute. What would pop over the top?
The driver thing would come right out over the top. I'd pick it up and there would be no post there because it's already in the ground. So I was getting the rhythm. Took me a little bit, but
so it would hit the top of the post and bounce back up.
Yeah, and hit
you
me
must have been driving it pretty hard because that's metal. The fence post driver has to weigh what, about 20 pounds?
Yeah.
So you must have been wailing on it.
Yeah. Hey, my ADD and all that too. That didn't.
That's okay. I smashed myself in the face with the wheelbarrow handle yesterday. but that's me. This happened. We all know. Me.
Okay, the fact that you're short enough to get hit in the face with the wheelbarrow handle is something else too. Because I was thinking, there's no way I could hit myself in the face with a wheelbarrow handle.
Yeah, it's well, what happens is I have one of those really big, deep wheelbarrows. It's got the two wheels in front. And
do you like those, by the way?
I thought I did, but now I don't. I only like them if you have a ramp.
You're right. That's what I was going to say.
Storage. If you have a container where you store your stuff and then a ramp leading up to it, it's good for dumping over the edge of something. But if you just have like a muck pile and a compost pile, the one-wheeled wheelbarrows are much more maneuverable.
I totally agree. They had a two-wheel wheelbarrow at the last farm we were at in Kentucky, and my God, you would, and she had a pile. You could not get it on top of the pile. It just, you couldn't empty the thing. It was so awkward.
And no matter, we take pieces of plywood and we make ramps up at the top, and that's fine. But then the ramps get buried under the manure, and you never have time to go ply them out, from their whatever. They just become part of the manure pile. So one of the things that I do is I push my full wheelbarrow up as high onto the pile as I can, because that's the way you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to make your pile higher, not wider. And so in order to get the last bit of manure and shavings out of the bottom of these deep wheelbarrows, I put it up on its nose, and then I shake it. I sort of twist it hard, from left to right using the handles right?
This thing must weigh more than you when it's full.
Well, it's almost empty. So I whip it to the left and I whip it to the right, and I get the last of the shavings. Well, I whipped it to the left just a little bit too hard, and I was leaning a little too far forward, and so the wooden handle just clocked me right in the cheekbone.
You're a mess.
I know.
Well, before we get on with more stories here of our adventures, there is somebody that we need to make a little call to that I just gotten word is free, and we're just going to do this live right on the show. So,
all right, we have a surprise.
Add her to the line here.
Nothing like hitting the ground running. We don't record for a couple of weeks. You move, the whole headquarters moves, and now we're starting off a new episode.
This is very exciting news coming up right here too, and everybody's going to recognize this voice.
Okay, we like exciting news.
Hello?
It's good.
Are you there, Miss Tammy Serrance, host of the Western Radio Show?
I am there. I'm busy working. Actually, you just got me off a conference call, so I thank you for that.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Hey, Tammy, how are you?
Good. I'm doing much better, thank you. Got a clean MRI back. Just got a couple more months to rest before I can get horseback, but I've already bought a helmet, and so
yay for you.
I did, and I bought the most gaudy, obnoxious eventing cover for it because I thought if I'm wearing it, you might as well know.
We should remind people that Tammy was in a car accident a while back. Very bad car accident. Got hit by a drunk driver and sustained a head injury that she's been recovering from for some time. And it's killing her because Tammy's, for those that don't know, she's a very competitive mounted shooter, world champion multiple times over, and not being able to ride is just killing her at this point.
It's very frustrating. I go out and feed the horses cookies. They are all fat and unemployed and so happy.
Yeah, they don't mind, do they?
They don't mind at all. So, and it's actually, I've lunged a couple from the ground a little bit and kind of getting out. And so that was fun for me. But just, you look at horses in a different light after you've been training for so long like I have. They're kind of not that it's not personal, but it's kind of a numbers game. You're kind of like, I got 10 to ride and 8 to ride and I'm almost done. And when you're stuck on the ground, it's more of a relationship and you're not rushing to go do something else, So it's been different for me and I've enjoyed them still. But they're getting a little bored. They've came to chasing trucks up the driveway, Glenn. If you arrive and you undo the gate, go through the front gate and drive up to the barn, they will chase you all the way up the driveway. They're like, Mom, do something with me.
Aww.
Well,
it's really
Tammy, they
adorable.
say everything happens for a reason, and maybe finding that little bit of more personal connection with your horses, too, was supposed to happen at this point.
Yeah, Handsome and I always have a very personal connection.
It's true, yes.
Handsome is my good horse.
He's in love. Yep.
But, I am going to, I think I'm going to I've never sent a horse away to anyone else to train, but I think I might send a couple of my little filly. She's 4 years old and a little rambunctious. So I think maybe if I send her away for a couple of months, then I'll be all ready when she'll be all ready for me. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Let someone else get the vacation mode out of her.
So no permanent brain damage? You're okay that way?
Well, my family may disagree. But my neurologist, my brother actually, we were emailing back and forth, and I told him about my brain injury, and I expected something very serious to come back from him, Glenn. And on his email, he wrote, "Is it genetic?" So that was pretty funny. I was like, "No, you're fine, brother."
Well, we're having Tammy on not only to get an update on her health condition, but Helena, she has some very exciting news for you.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
I waited for a long time too.
So what is it? Tell the world.
I emailed my friend and I said I think they should change the name of Good Friday to Great Friday. Because I actually went and picked out a horse-friendly ring on Friday, so it was a great Friday for me. Very
Tammy's
exciting.
Engaged. Woohoo!
Yay!
So tell us about the lucky guy.
Lucky guy, I'm the lucky one.
That's right. Jeez, Glenn.
Sorry. All right, tell us about the guy.
No, he's wonderful, and he was actually in the accident with me. But I was sitting crooked in my seat, talking, obviously, like I always do. And when we got hit, my head went back into the window and not the back of the seat where he was sitting straight driving. And so he did get some bruising on his chest, but he was fine. But, the first day he went to leave me by myself, I was very distraught and broke down in tears and said, you can't leave me by myself. So the poor guy took me to work and took me home. And someone tells you that there's got to be a reason for everything. And I'm not glad of the accident at all. But it did teach me, when people are stressed, their character comes out and who they really are is very obvious. And to have a gentleman just take me into their life and nurse me and make sure I'm fine really meant a huge amount to me, and it really showed me the character and the heart that somebody has. And I have so much respect and admiration for him and everything he's done for me. And I think the accident was just a really great way to see the heart in somebody, So everything has a silver lining. So
this is true. I believe that 100%. You just have to look for it.
Yeah, it does. And, sometimes what you think you want isn't what you need. And, when opportunities come up like this and you get to learn more about people and you just work out how amazing they are. So it's been very good for me. And I said to him, I don't think I've ever been so hurt and so content at the same time.
But like you said, it strips down so much else that's not important. And then you focus just on what is important. And so you see that more clearly. And I would imagine that you feel really comfortable saying, yes, this is what I want to do for the next step in my life, because it is just so pure.
Yeah, it is. It's just, if I was by myself getting through this accident, it would have been so much harder for me. But to have someone there to say, hey, it's okay and things are getting better and look how much progress you've made, or someone to push you and say, hey, let's get out of the house or let's go do something. And, it's really helped speed recovery along just to have the companionship and someone there saying it's okay, we'll get through this. And that's just meant so much to me. So
tell us, is there a date?
There isn't a date. I want to wait till I get better, but the exciting thing is my mom is definitely coming over from Australia. I've never been over here before.
Oh, yay, Mom!
So hopefully my brother, he has a large family. He has 2 sons and a daughter on the way. So hopefully he'll be able to make it. But, sometime next year, early next year. So that'll give me time to get better. And I'm all, doing a lot better now. But when there's a lot of noise or, I just get tired pretty quick. So I think, next year will be a good time. So right now we're just kind of enjoying the situation we have.
Well, and does this guy have a name?
Oh, No, don't do it, Tammy. Don't do it.
Perfect. No, he's in equine marketing like me, so it's great to have someone that you can ask questions with and bounce ideas off, and someone you know that can help you if you need it. So, in everything. So, and he's a great cook, Glenn.
Oh, good. Okay, but at
Tammy,
least give us
that's
his
all
first
you
name
need.
here. You still are not giving us his name.
You know what was funny? I was getting
She's blowing me off. You
Of
see
course
that?
she is.
No, I haven't. I've got a story for you, Glenn. I was waiting for medication a couple of days ago, and from the pharmacy, and I'm, when you wander around and you buy a whole basket of stuff you don't need while you're waiting for what you do need.
Yeah, they count on
I
that.
found the most amazing cookie cutter set. So I texted him, and I'm like, "Hey, I found the most amazing cookie cutter set. It is so awesome." And then I wrote, "What has happened to me?"
You are domestic now. My God.
Doesn't mean I can use it, Glenn. Before, I had taken all my cooking stuff out to the barn because the teaspoon measurers were really great for making black powder reloads.
Not too many people can say that.
It's the perfect amount of black powder to make a shell. So that's where my cooking stuff was before. So
Okay, but now I'm looking at now we measure everything nowadays by Facebook. And I'm looking at your Facebook page and I don't see
I'm being
any
kinda
relationship with.
well,
You're going to have to change that now.
yes, I will. I've just been kind of quiet about everything.
Not anymore. Now half the world
No.
knows.
No, now you've called me on the show, so
Well, he'll be on the Horse Husbands episode next year.
That's
and,
right.
He's enrolled.
competition? Not that I'm competitive, but I really think I've got the best dad.
Is that a competition? We do need to give you something to compete in, like something from the chair, from your couch.
I worked it out already. I entered Handsome in the World's Most Beautiful Horse, which is an online photo competition. So, vote for Handsome.
You are
There
competitive.
you go. She's yeah. We need to come up with a Horse Radio Network competition for her. She needs to compete out there in the world again.
Are you going
Something.
to be having a horsey wedding or don't you know yet?
You know what? I think horsey weddings are really corny, Glenn.
They are corny. They are.
They
corny.
are
She's
so
right.
corny.
And our apologies
Oh
to
my
everybody
gosh.
out there who's had a horsey wedding. I'm sure yours was beautiful.
Well, you can you'll weave something in there. Like maybe you can maybe your garter belt can have like a silver
got
buckle
on it.
on it or something. Like
You can wear one of your belt buckles under your dress.
that's what I
something.
mean. Yeah, wear a belt buckle. Wear boots. Something.
I
just-
really, and a lot of my friends have had horsey weddings, which, they have been very good. But, the whole horseback thing, I mean, it sounds good now that I can't ride, but,
Yeah, no, that's kind of.
yeah, I'll have my horse for a picture or something, but I don't want to get married on him.
Yeah, it's almost like work,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, no,
Now,
I
will you
think,
will you be
wedding-
watching like those talking about cheesy? Will you watch like Say Yes to the Dress and all those
No,
reality?
I haven't really looked at them yet, but
You need to.
we'll get there.
You
So,
need to.
Some of my friends, one of my very good friends in Dallas has been, what colors or what date or what theme or what? I'm like, oh my gosh.
So now there's another decision to be made, Helena, and we'll act like she's not here. The other decision to be made is where do you live? Do you live at his place when you have a farm? It's all those things you have to think about when you're a horsey girl.
Well, where
yeah.
does he live near you? Or is he-
Yep, about an hour. So, and I've actually been there, for a while while I get better. So I brought a horse down here to play with and something that I could, just look at and have one of my horses from home. So, but my nonprofit's still at home and my horses are still home. So it's kind of juggling back and forth right now.
okay.
I don't think she answered that question either, but I tried. Thank you, Tammy. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
What is his first name?
Vernon,
Vernon. Well, congratulate Vernon
Yep.
for us, too.
he's been wonderful. So.
Well, can't wait to meet him.
Oh,
Yes.
good. Oh, good. You're going to have someone to cuddle with who stands on TV.
You know, she doesn't want a horsey wedding, but Helene and I, we'll have to go there and do the show live from your wedding.
We'll plan you a little alternative horsey wedding.
Yeah.
Something and cheesy. Totally cheesy,
Yeah, we'll
Tammy.
come up with a cheesy
That's
one.
like a closet horse thing.
Yeah, we'll embarrass you. The idea will be to embarrass you, but you're going to love
Pretty
it.
easy.
All right. Count on it.
You guys are funny.
We're so glad that you're healing and moving along. I know it's frustrating in baby steps. I totally get that. I've been there. Just find other stuff to do. Just find other stuff to do. You know, like maybe planning a wedding, getting engaged. That's good. You know, and
you know, that's kind of what I think, because it is very frustrating to be locked in the house. And, you know, I go out a little more than I used to, but you kind of sit there and you have to say, I'm not going to let myself, you know, get sad, or I'm not going to let myself get bored. And I'm always finding different things to do. So you've got to really be aware of it, I think, and fill up your schedule. And so things are getting better. I actually picked up my guitar for the first time yesterday. I hadn't wanted to play it all year because of the noise. Not just because I'm bad at it.
I kept my mouth shut. I had so many comments.
But it's so out of tune. I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm finally kind of getting where I can tolerate a little more than I used to. So, but it's been fun. The cooking thing's been interesting, and so my work's appreciated it. It's kept me in the house a lot more, so I've been able to do a lot more work. So.
And I haven't heard about a food poisoning outbreak in Texas, so I guess we're okay there.
For now.
Bye, Tammy. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
take care. Bye-bye.
Doesn't she sound happy?
Oh my God, she does. She does. There's a different quality to her voice now. She sounds. I mean, you can't escape being a little bit wiser and a little bit more mature after surviving a car accident.
And hers was pretty bad. I mean, both cars were totaled. The guy did get arrested for drunk driving, and he ran a red light and hit them. So, and he never slowed down. He hit him at full speed. So it was pretty bad.
I mean, she's lucky she's alive. She's lucky she is alive, and I think you hear that in her voice.
Yep,
she's embraced. It's like it sucks that she's on the ground and she can't do all the things that she likes to do, but you feel the appreciation for just being there.
Yep, definitely.
And I'm so happy that she found this connection with Vernon, this permanent connection. I'm so happy for her.
I am too. And she was always the one that said, I don't have time for guys. I don't have time for guys. And I said, well, when you're not looking is when you're going to find the one. And she wasn't looking. So
yeah, well, that stupid drunk driver gave her the time. And she's right. That's the silver lining.
And they had just, if I remember right, they had just started dating actually when that happened. She got to see the real side right away.
She's right. I mean, that point about people's character comes out when, they're under stress. It really does. And if you can survive stressful situations like that, the other kinds of things that you experience in your relationship and in life are probably a little bit easier to handle.
Now, she tells me he's very quiet, so they could probably get along great.
Oh, it sounds like me and Peter. Yin and yang.
It did kind of remind me of that, actually.
Yeah. In about 20 years, she'll be kicking him, telling him, will you say something? Just say something, anything. Why are you so quiet?
That's funny. Well, let's take a break here for another commercial and come back and continue our chat about all the things going on in our lives right now. So we'll be right back. Hi, Glenn, back with you from the Horse Radio Network. I'm here with Debbie with the Equestrian Collection's Product of the Week.
Hello, Glenn, and I am so excited to introduce the Iridian Lady Stretch Denim Jeans. These are brand new this spring, and I just got a pair last week. And I'm telling you, I loved them so much, I ordered a second pair over the weekend from Equestrian Collections. They are, because they're Iridian, they're extremely stretching. They have 2% spandex, 84% cotton, and 14% polyester, and they fit great. I'm a little bit short, so they're a little long. So if you're tall, you can wear these. But if you're short, you can still tuck them into your boots, and they look fabulous. They look not only good. In fact, these are the first things I've ever worn that I felt like I had skinny jeans on. And then I thought, oh, I can't possibly ride in these things. You get on the horse, and oh my goodness, they are not only comfortable. The people I was riding with, turned to me and said, "You look great in those jeans." I can't say enough about them. They're fabulous. Try them.
Well, anytime you get compliments like that, you're going to be happy for sure. Now, these are knee patch jeans?
Yes, they're knee patch jeans. They say they're mid-rise, but they're actually, they're mid-rise. They're low to mid-rise, so they're very, very comfortable. The knee patches are very soft. They're also same color, so you could actually get away with wearing them as jeans. They've got the four-way stretch. They come in black, and they come in denim.
You want to go to equestriancollections.com and search for Iridian. If you just put in Iridian jeans or denim jeans, these will come up.
You'll love them.
Well, so the fence, and we did get a lot done here at the, we're going to have to name it. We're going to run a contest, I think, for naming the farm. I wanted to call it Radio Ranch because I thought that'd be a great name for our farm and the headquarters of the Horse Radio Network. But there's actually a radio show called Radio Ranch.
Yeah,
so we can't do that one. So we can't do that. So what I thought is we're going to try and come up with a cool prize, and we're going to run a contest with the listeners to name our farm.
Okay.
And we're going to do that here coming up in the next couple of weeks. We're working on that right now. So we don't have a name yet.
But we need guidelines. Like there has to be some little spark of inspiration. And this, the possibilities are limitless. So.
I know. That's why I want to let the listeners just use their creativity. We'll post some pictures so they can look at the pictures,
Okay.
And we'll do that.
Can I play?
Yeah, you can play.
And I'm not supposed to be allowed to play. I'm an employee of the Horse Radio Network.
I know, but this is kind of fun. And I think the prize is going to be something you'd want. So.
I can't. I'm not allowed to play, but thank you.
So we got the fence up actually in about 5 days, 2 acres of fence.
That's
and
great.
It looks terrific. It went up so easy. This Field Guardian, I can't say enough good things about their products and how they make it so easy to use. So that's ready to go. The one issue that we've had is the gentleman that lived here is in his 70s, and his wife had died a couple years ago, and I don't know that he had the time and the energy to pick up all the leaves that come with live oak trees, which is bazillions of them. And there's these little flat leaves. They don't get all crinkly in the fall like other oak tree kind of leaves. And so they're inches thick all over the place. And we weren't sure that Beaker, our horse, would actually eat them and get sick. So we've been trying to rake up the leaves out of 2 acres of leaves.
Oh, my God.
And so that's been a nightly project that we've been playing with every night. And let me tell you, they have some creatures here in Florida. We have a black racer snake that lives on our front porch.
He lives on your front porch?
Yeah, we see him almost every day on the front porch. We're not quite sure where he's living around the front porch, but fortunately we don't use the front porch much. But the cat has seemed to take a liking to looking out the window at the snake on the front porch. And black racer snakes are supposed to be good. You don't want to, kill them because they eat mice, and they also keep the bad snakes away, the poisonous snakes.
Good. Okay, good. Oh, good. So he's a friendly snake.
He's a friendly snake, but they do bite if you antagonize them, so they're not ones you want to go out and shush around much. Plus, they're very fast. That's why they're called a racer.
Okay.
So I don't like snakes at all, so it's kind of creepy to me to have a snake on the front porch, but I'm learning to deal. Now, Jennifer doesn't like spiders.
You two are quite the pair. She doesn't like. You don't like tunnels. Yeah. She doesn't like bridges, or is it the other way around?
The other way around. I don't like bridges. She don't like tunnels. But yeah, so,
you don't like snakes. She doesn't like
spiders, and she doesn't like most creepy crawly insects. Well, this place is loaded with creepy crawly insects.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to come to terms with this, the two of you. Really.
So she's starting to get used to the fact that anytime you pull up a rock or anything, there's cockroaches and spiders and every kind of bug imaginable.
Oh, God.
So she's getting used to that. But Beaker went on the truck this morning. Sally Moving Vans is hauling our horse down here from Lexington.
Well, I'm laughing because while we were talking to Tammy, I hear a little rat-a-tat-tat, and it's my cell phone because somebody's wife had to text me a picture of Beaker on the trailer.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm looking at his face right now. You know what? He's loaded in backwards, which I love.
Yeah, what happens with Sally is because the farm Sally has the great big huge tractor trailers, the big comfortable ride tractor trailers.
Yep.
But they can't get that down the lane where they picked him up, and they're not able to get into our equestrian community here because the branches and the trees are too low. So what they do is they put him on a smaller truck, take him to the transfer facility in Lexington, put him on the big truck, and they're going to have to do the same thing when they get down here to Ocala.
So he's going to be on and off, on and off.
On and off, on and off. And, so he'll be getting quite a ride over the next 24 hours, and he'll be arriving here early tomorrow morning. So she is so excited my wife's so excited to get the horse here. This will be the first time in 10 years we've had the horse in the backyard.
Oh.
We boarded, and, we've had, she had a period of time with no horse, and so we're really ready. We've got the paddocks ready and everything. And Beaker usually wore a muzzle all the time because he was so fat. And now he won't have to.
Yes. I wear a muzzle sometimes.
I should wear a muzzle sometimes.
But now, one of the things that in particular, I'm happy about for you and Jen is that the last time you had horses at home, it was kind of stressful because it was a big deal. It was your business wrapped up with your...
Yeah, we had 20 of them.
Right. Yeah. And it was a lot. And, it's really nice. It's a totally different world when you take care of horses in a boarding facility, whether you board there, work there, or own it, and then at home. It is therapeutic beyond what you would even think it would be. It's so relaxing. There isn't one chore that is stressful because it's just you and maybe a horse or two, maybe three at the most, and so I'm really excited that you guys get to experience that because I don't think you've been able to get to that point yet.
I don't think we've ever been at that point because when we first got together, she was in the horse business, and we've always had a ton of horses.
Yeah.
So I don't think we've never been at the point where we just had one or two in the backyard.
It's pretty awesome, man. It's pretty awesome.
And we decided that I want to get a driving horse eventually, but not today. We're going to get Beaker settled in. But if he gets lonely, we decided we're going to go out and get a mini. We're going to get a mini to keep him company, because we figured that then when Beaker goes out to ride every day, the mini can't scream and make too much noise if it has separation anxiety. So.
Yeah. Well, we've got a little Welsh. I don't know, a 12-hand Welsh out there, and she can make plenty of noise. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We've had some. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. So Beaker is due to arrive tomorrow.
Yeah, Beaker will be here tomorrow, and I'm sure Jennifer will be on riding by Friday.
And
the weather has been absolutely beautiful here.
Well, that's the next question.
It's been 70s and sunny every day.
70s and sunny. You're in Ocala. You've got the new house. You've got all the fencing is set up and safe. And so Beaker comes here. All right, blah, 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 blah. I can't think anymore. Cut that part out.
So that's, it's fine. And we're all in good shape down here. And broadcasting from here over the last week has worked out quite well. Except for my purple studio, which I'm going to have to change because...
Right, you have a purple studio. So, yeah. But is there anything that the house needs, or other than just a color change?
We need to paint the purple studio.
Paint the purple studio.
It's going to be painted to some more manly color. I can't
manly color. Okay, like black.
Something more manly is, apartment contractor tan would be fine. But this has got to go.
And now, what is it cold at night? Like Jennifer was saying,
it's getting chilly into the 50s at night here. Now that's all going to change in about 3 weeks when summer sets in and it's hot as heck every day. Okay. We're in the most beautiful time of the year right now, and it's so hard to believe it's the tropics down here because we haven't had rain since we've gotten here, and it's very dry right now.
Yeah, it's very dry up here too. It's very dry. The fire index is high. Yeah, they're not issuing any burn permits. Yeah. There are brush fires in New York. It's dry. So, we're no better up here.
So that's all over the place, yeah.
So now you are an hour in either direction, west or east from the ocean?
It's about an hour to the Gulf. You can go take a swim at Crystal Beach is over there. And then if you head about an hour and a half through the Ocala National Forest, when you pop out the other side of the Ocala National Forest, you are at Daytona Beach. So you can bring your Jeep and drive onto the beach and, spend a day with your car on the beach. So we're looking forward to doing that for the first time, too.
Okay.
So that'll be coming up. And then you're coming down to see us soon.
We are. I haven't been to Florida since I was 17 years old.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. I've just not had the occasion to go to Florida. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I lie. I'm sorry. I can't believe I forgot this. I went when I was 32. So, yeah, it's been a long time since I went to Florida.
Now, are you going to be able to come up and see the place?
I think so. I mean, you're only about, an hour and 15 minutes from Disney?
Yep. We're about an hour and 15 minutes from Disney. So you're going to be going to Disney. Your husband's going to a conference?
He's going to be at a conference. He's going to a wicked geeky conference that's really, it's hosted in Disney World.
Oh, what do you know? Do you know what hotel you're staying at?
We are staying at the Coronado.
Oh, that's a nice one. You're going to love it there.
Coronado. We will be in South Florida first. And because my mom recently relocated to the West Coast. And we're going to be just a hop and a skip from Daniel Stewart, who's got a place in Naples, Florida.
Oh,
so
really?
We're going to be not too far from him. And then we're going to travel up to the Orlando area, hook up with you guys, and then hopefully I'll get up to Ocala and spend some time checking out the new place and giving Beaker some kisses.
Well, it sounds terrific.
We'll give it a shot.
I'm looking at a red-headed woodpecker right outside my window right now on the tree. So you might hear him start very soon because we have about 1,000 of them here.
Red-headed woodpeckers. And how is the beast handling life in Florida?
Oh, yeah, the cat that wasn't supposed to make the trip, but we ended up bringing him along. Funny story there, Jennifer. Funny story there is we had him in a crate in the front seat of the Jeep, and Jennifer was driving the Jeep and the horse trailer down, and I was in the moving truck. And this was a long trip of 17 hours with this cat in the crate. We actually took him out at a rest stop and had his little collar on or his little harness on and took him out at a rest stop. He thought that was the scariest thing ever. So at one point, we would call each other when we were going to pull off and get gas or whatever. At one point, we finally got through the traffic in Georgia and we're into Florida. And she pulls off at this little tiny exit in the middle of nowhere and pulls into this seedy-looking gas station. And I was like, I got out and went, "What's wrong?" She said, "I think the cat's dead." She said, I reached in to pet his little paw, and there was nothing in the crate. So I said, "Well, let's open it up and see." And she opened it up. He was just so sound asleep. He hadn't moved when she touched him. And so he was just so sound asleep. He woke up when she opened the door, and then apparently he screamed for the next 2 hours of the trip.
Well, I think they need to change that old adage, "Let sleeping dogs lie."
Yeah, exactly.
Let sleeping beasts lie.
Yeah, exactly. But Glory's loving it because she now has a fenced-in backyard that she can run in. The horse fence does dual purpose.
Oh, Glory.
So the Greyhound is getting to play. She thinks that's absolutely great amount of fun. She wasn't sure about the leaves because they're very slippery, and she's fallen on her face a few times, but she's figuring that out. Because Greyhounds don't go anywhere slow. They have to go at 30 miles an hour everywhere they go. So she's determined that leaves or not, she's going 30 miles an hour. And she's figured it out. There's a lot of trees out there, which concerns us because she has a habit of not stopping and running into things. So we're hoping that she figures that out.
Oh, that sounds like she should be my dog, not one of your dogs. That's something somebody in my family would do.
I want to hear what's going on in your life, and then we do have a Tack and Habit product today, right?
We do. But before we hear about what's going on in my life, let's give our listeners a chance to hear from one of our wonderful sponsors who help keep this show afloat.
You can count on Kentucky Performance Products to provide scientifically formulated, research-proven products that target specific challenges facing your horse. In the spring and summertime, one of those challenges is the heat. Horses sweat, and when they do, they lose critical electrolytes that play a major role in optimal performance. Loss of electrolytes can cause fatigue, muscle weakness, and dehydration. Horses offered supplemental electrolytes have less stress-related problems. They rebound from exercises sooner and return to feed quicker after exercise. Summer Games electrolytes from Kentucky Performance Products were developed for the elite athletes competing at the 1996 Atlanta Olympics. Its research-proven formula replaces the electrolytes and trace minerals lost when horses sweat. Its concentrated low-sugar formula provides more electrolytes per dose than many leading brands. When your horse sweats, replenish his losses with Summer Games electrolytes. Brought to you by Kentucky Performance Products, helping you keep your horses healthy, sound, and competitive. Visit them at kppusa.com. That's kppusa.com. So what's happening in Rhode Island?
Wow. My goodness. We've had musical horses. We've had horses come. We've had horses go. We've had more horses come. We have for those of you who know or have been following my drama, I had a quarter horse here at Hither and Yon Farm who was on a free lease for about half a year. He came in December, and his name is Martin, and he was a 5.5-year-old quarter horse, and he was trained primarily Western pleasure, and he's really, really slow and quiet and good-natured, and he was the perfect mount for me to get back in the saddle after my ACL surgery, and he was good. You know, I could get on him and plop around him in my field and hack him down the road, and he was great for that. The idea was to make a decision on whether or not I wanted to purchase him at the end of the lease. But in the time between his arrival and now, my knee has healed up very, very well. My surgeon has given me the green light to go ahead and go back to all of those activities that I did before. And also, I had some soul searching to do about what kind of riding and what kind of horseman I am. And I decided that I really can't live without fox hunting. I can't do it. I can't go around in a ring.
But is there a fox hunt around?
Well, this is where the story gets a little convoluted.
Are you moving again?
No, not yet. No. Well, I've sort of reconnected with some of my friends up on the North Shore who hunt with myopia, and as some of you may know, myopia lost their longtime master of foxhounds, Donald Little. He died in an accident down in Wellington this past February, and you know, it's sort of like the changing. It's a new chapter. It's a whole new era is coming in. I think in hunting, there's a new huntsman. There's a new, they're new joint masters. So there's a lot of, it's a sad time for the hunt, but it's also a time of new opportunities. Like Tammy says, there's a silver lining. So, you know, I reconnected with some of those folks, and then one of the hunts that's closer to me, who's looking to expand their territory, quite possibly down here into my area. So there aren't real convenient opportunities to hunt for me right now, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to.
Right.
Okay. It's if that's what you want to do, then you get your horse in a truck and a trailer and you go find the nearest hunt. That's it. So anyway, what it turns out was that Martin is he's not really bred to be a field hunter. He's a fancy quarter horse, and I just decided that that kind of riding would be too harsh on his body. His conformation is not really set up to be a good field hunter. Now, I know plenty of quarter horses who are. It's not the quarter horse that's not designed for that. It's just this one in particular. His conformation wasn't suitable for field hunting. So did you just ship Martin back? He went yesterday.
Oh, okay.
And it was very sad. It was very, very sad. But the other thing too is, you know, Zeke, he's 6 or, you know, coming 6, and he was playful and aggressive, and he's a little hard on Zeke, who's pretty crickety.
And he's in his 20s, right?
Yeah.
Maybe 30s. I'm not sure.
He's up there. So he, you know, Martin he was really rough on Zeke, and I can only do so much to keep him separated, but you know, Zeke lost some weight. He looks stressed and depressed, and so I think in the end it was a good decision. But it's kind of because Martin had such a wonderful, playful personality. It's a little sad without him.
So where's the standard bred Arab? Pie.
Oh, gosh, Pie is so not the right horse for me. He's still up at Carnegie Abbey Equestrian Center in Portsmouth, Rhode Island, and he's being ridden regularly by my good friend Caitlin Rex, who helps to run the equestrian center up there and is an extremely talented rider. I've been on him a couple of times, and I'll tell you, he's still as much fun for me to ride as he was when he was here at home. I absolutely love riding that horse. But he's hot. He's hot, 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 hot. And
Dr. Wendy said you two didn't match. Chinese.
She said fire and fire.
Yeah, you two didn't match.
And it's only because, he's not scary or anything. He's just up. He's that Arab in him is really coming out. He needs to be an endurance horse or an event horse. He needs to go, 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 go. So, anyway, so he's still on the market. He's still for sale. Although I haven't really tried hard to sell him. I have one ad up for, on Dream Horse for him, whatever. So I'm going to make that push a little bit stronger now. But I know he's healthy, he's fit, he's being taken good care of, so I'm not worried about him.
So you're on the horse hunt again?
I'm on the horse hunt again. I'm riding one of their ponies up there. I had my first jumping lesson in a very long time the other day. Crossrails. Back to Crossrails. I don't know. Can I just complain for 1 minute? For just 1 minute, I need to vent. Yeah. I have been jumping Crossrails since time began. Honestly, every time I try to go and learn how to jump a course, I start with Crossrails and I never get past 2.6. It's like, so anyway, but I'm on this really great pony, and I will probably ride this pony in an upcoming Daniel Stewart clinic.
Oh, cool.
It's May. So Daniel Stewart is coming to New England in May, and he's going to be doing his video analysis clinic for a group of riders up here, and I get to ride with him.
Wow, that's cool.
Yep. And so that'll be a lot of fun. God knows what my position is going to be like now that my left side has been so unused for so long. So I think he'll have a lot of insight there. And yeah, so if we get Pi sold, then I can either adopt or buy some kind of all-around family horse that I can hunt as well. And in the meantime, we have cute little pony mare who's keeping Zeke company. And I believe they're married now. She got here last week, and I think they eloped somewhere.
He likes the young ones, huh?
Oh my! Oh my! Well,
he likes the young petite ones.
He does. Well, they're a good size. They're both chestnuts, and they would be a great pair if they were humans. So Nutmeg comes last week.
Nutmeg.
Yes.
Oh, that's a classic too.
I know. I'll put a picture of her up on my Facebook page. Nutmeg. So she comes a week and a half ago. So I have the three of them, right? Martin, Zeke, and Nutmeg. So for the first couple of days, she comes in, and as happens with mares, she comes into heat. When you change them, whatever, when they move locations. So she comes into heat, wicked bad, and she's just making gaga eyes at both of them. And I figured, well, you know what, Martin's a little rough, so let me put her with Zeke. And then I know she won't get hurt. So after a couple of days, they can sniff each other over the fence and everything. I decided I'm going to put the three of them together. I think it can work. They're fine. They're great. For 8 hours, they're fabulous. Somewhere around 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Martin decides he's going to make a bid for Nutmeg. She's belonged to Zeke the whole time. He won't let her out of his sight. He's right next to her. Martin's like, all right, I'm going to go. I'm going to show my macho here. Well,
I want some of that.
Zeke, 110-year-old Zeke, decides he's not going to give up an inch of this pony. They had at it. I didn't breathe for like an hour while they galloped around, bit each other, threatened each other, hit-checked each other, tried to kick each other. It was awful. It was awful. And I'm in the middle of the whole thing trying to stop them. I'm going, whoa, I'm waving my arms.
Yeah, that wasn't a good idea, by the way.
Yeah. Then I say, it made me think of that video of all those harness horses.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I did that for like 13 seconds and decided that wasn't a good idea.
No.
So I finally catch Martin. I pull him off to the side, and they're all hot and sweaty or whatever. And I'm walking him out, letting him cool down in the barnyard. Everybody settles down. He takes a big bite of hay. Well, first I let him take a few sips of water. Then he grabs a big mouthful of hay. What do you think happens 2 minutes later?
Well, I have an indication because I saw on your Facebook page that what happened. You posted it actually on our Facebook page at Stable Scoop and got quite a reaction, too.
I did. For the first time ever, I experienced equine choke. And let me tell you, it is heart-stopping. It is heart-stopping. I've seen blood, guts, instant death. This is all horse stuff, right? Colic, casting, foals being born backwards, all kinds of nasty reactions, all kinds of vaccines. I've not experienced this kind of distress in a horse ever, in any animal.
Their physical reaction to it is just disturbing.
It's disturbing. It's disturbing. And their airway's not blocked. They can breathe. But it is one of the top 10 equine emergencies. So it's definitely something you want to get onto the phone with the vet about, which I did. And thankfully, the tech in the office had given me the whole flush the hose thing, water under pressure, which worked. Thankfully, I was able to get it resolved.
So you got it out before the vet got
We got it out. Yeah. It took a lot of courage for me to take this hose and shove it in his mouth and let the pressure, try and do what
when he's choking, which is
while he's choking. Yeah. It's really, it's so counterintuitive, but you just have to trust your vets. And so I did that and understood the physics behind it. And then, and it worked. So I would say that maybe he was distressed for a total of 10 minutes. It feels like 10 hours, but maybe 10 minutes. And then he settled down quickly and he was back to his old self within an hour. Everything got soaked. Everything got soaked until he went home yesterday. But I survived it and I'm just a little bit wiser for it. Maybe a couple of extra gray hairs.
But you're right. I absolutely agree. There's nothing as scary as seeing that happen.
And then you're like, okay, I'm done with horses. I don't need the pony. I don't even need the old guy. He can go down south and retire somewhere. I don't need to have horses. I don't need
Peter
to
was going, yes, I've been waiting years for this.
He was well, see, if we had more time in the show, that's another story. Apparently my husband wants to get a Morgan, but that's another episode. So life experiences, you guys pack up and move everything south of the border, really far south. And I survive another New England, whatever, episode.
I would say only you, Helena, but it happens to every horse owner. All of this stuff happens to every horse owner.
It does.
We all have to build fence. We all have to see our horses go through things we don't want to see them go through. We all have to go through the things they don't want to go through. All of those things are things that every horse owner deals with. And it's like, at the time, you think, am I the only one dealing with this? You
do. I felt like a complete idiot. Like,
yep.
Whose horse chokes on hay?
Right.
What is wrong with me?
Yeah, more horses choke on hay than almost anything else.
Yeah. You're like, what did I do wrong? What?
Well, you think about it. How many meals and how many bites have we chewed as adults, and how many times do you still choke on something?
Yeah.
Do you know the one thing I can't eat anymore because I choke on it almost every time is an apple? I can't eat apples anymore because I just feel like I'm choking when I'm eating apples. Maybe I'm chewing it up. I don't know what the story is, but how many times do we choke? It's fortunately it's not bad each time, and you've managed to get it down. But oof, yeah, you're absolutely right. I don't envy you that one. Well, and also now you're going to have more horse hunting stories.
More? Can you believe it? I've been shopping for a horse for like 18 years.
Since I've known you.
Yeah, 18 years, really. It's just that's what my husband said. He's like, you might as well just go out and find yourself another husband because that would be easier. That would be easier.
All right, well, let's get to our attack and habit. Let's cue the music and get to our attack and habit segment for this week. So what product do you have for us for Attack and Habit this week?
I have a product that I'm not too happy about.
Oh, geez, we're going to throw one under the bus.
We are going to throw one under the bus.
Another sponsor out the window.
No, these guys. Well, what's funny is these guys make plenty of things that we love.
Did you find some jerky you didn't like?
No, there is no such thing as jerky I don't like. No. One of the things we are all big fans here at the Horse Trader Network of Carrots apparel, right?
Yes. Yep.
I have many things by Carrots. I have several different kinds of
Jennifer
breeches.
wore her Carrots breeches to the restaurant the other day.
I wear my Carrots jacket. I love Carrots. So the other day, I ordered a pair of Carrots breeches from Tack of the Day. And, you know, you wait a couple of weeks before they get here or whatever. And this was one pair that I had not seen before. I haven't touched and felt it. And it's their microcord full seat breeches. Now, I have a problem with pull-ons being called breeches. I expect a breech to have a snap or a button and a zip. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's not so much true anymore. I think it used to be true, but I think the lines have been blurred.
Well, that bothers me because I'm not a fan of pull-up breeches or riding tights in that way. Because typically the pull-up, the material that they've been made out of is sort of like a knit, or like a jersey, stretchy material that shows all your lumps and bumps.
By the way, what horse husbands absolutely love.
If they're not lumps.
Carrots breeches are horse husband favorites.
Well, no, because I have a pair of, like I said, I've got another pair of Carrots breeches that are fabulous. They're thick. Now, granted, they're winter. You know, they're winter riding breeches.
But
so
you see, that's the way Carrots riding pants always were. They were always that thin, really tight material.
Yeah, it's the thin material that I don't like. But I thought that the microcord would afford a little bit of
modesty.
Yes, modesty, yes, smoothing, and then on top of that, the full seat. Well, you know, I didn't find that the full seat is coverage, and it's that different like Clarino type of material. It's not really effective in keeping you in the saddle, as you would expect a pair of full seats to be. Now, to Carrot's defense, they do make their sit tight breeches.
Right.
And you're not going anywhere in those.
Nope, you're right.
So I give them that. But anyway, I was expecting something with the full seats, with the microcord, and really what I ended up getting was a thin pair of pull-on riding tights with the full seat sewn in.
You know, you could post a picture on Facebook of you in those riding tights, and we could have the horse husbands decide how you look.
No,
we're not doing that.
No. Okay. Well, I don't even want my own husband to see them. How would I want 20,000 other husbands to see them? Thank you very much. So I'm
just trying to be helpful.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be helpful. Sure you are. I feel bad for Jen the day you guys go over to Daytona Beach. I really do. So I was disappointed. Do I think that Carrots makes a good product? I think most of their products are excellent, but I was disappointed in these.
But they're Carrots products, and they'll admit this. They're a very personal thing. You either you like each particular one or you don't. It's a very personal thing because they're very intimate product. They're kind of like the outerwear intimate product.
Yes. You're right. Breeches are very personal. Because some people are very, especially me, Princess and the Pea, I'm very sensitive to certain things. I don't like
Jennifer loves their boot cut breeches.
And now those boot cut breeches are made with some fabrics that are thicker.
Yes, they're thicker. Yep, you're absolutely right. Yep.
For example, like the Ariat Pro, their professional breech, and even like the Tailored Sportsman, there's a blend in there that makes them feel more like, I don't want to say pants, like slacks. I don't know if I'm dating myself with the word slacks, but they're a little bit more, I don't want to say sophisticated or mature. Yeah, modest, I guess, is the word.
They're more modest and not as pleasing to the horse husband eye, I might add.
Well, no, they are pleasing to the horse husband eye. I mean, if you get the right fit, they're just, if you're not 100% comfortable with the fitness level of your lower body, as those of us of certain age groups might tend to be, I'm going to say that you probably won't be comfortable in this particular pull-on breech.
Okay. And which one was it again?
It's the Carrots Microcord full seat breech.
Okay. Well, there you go. And, there's probably as many people out there that absolutely love that breech. But you're absolutely right about especially with the Carrots because of the way they're designed. And she'll tell you this. Carrie from Carrots will tell you this.
Yeah.
That they're, certain ones. That's why they make a variety of them. But it's interesting to hear that you had that experience.
Yeah, and like I said, I have plenty of other Carrots breeches that I love, and I love their jackets. And it's just this particular, for people who may be like me and want that modest coverage and support. That particular one is not, for me, that's not the one. But check out the other Breeches and Carrots line, because you might find something that's a little bit more supportive and a little bit more modest, because, yes, you're right, they do make them.
All right, everybody, that's it. Thank you so much, Helena. It was good to talk to you again.
It was. Thanks for everyone.
Hey, we're
going to
see you next week.
You're going to, yes, in a week, you're going to see me.
Sounds terrific. We'll look for you then.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening, everyone.